Ladies and gentlemen, in this video we will be exploring the top 10 options to use your unlock tokens on. I've got a couple suggestions, listen to me ramble, so we'll get right into the video. So I don't know if you know, when you level up your prestige, you get access to prestige tokens. So everything is unlocked and it resets your progression. So after you hit max level, which is 55, you will then be given the option to prestige. Once you prestige, you'll get like some other items you can unlock along the way, so additional items. I recommend at least prestiging once. You get some weapon blueprints and then items in each different prestige. So, go through your barracks, check those out, see what's good. But then you get a permanent unlock token that can then be used to unlock an item or ability or whatever at any level. So I'd just like to start off by saying I would not waste any of your unlocks on weapons, because when you purchase a blueprint, whether that be like you get a blueprint in the game, like here on the battle, I use the battle pass, and you get all these weapons. So here, like crack shot, you get this weapon blueprint. It automatically unlocks the LW31A Frostline Sniper at any level. Same with the Marksman rifle. Same with the C9 submachine gun. Same with this Coroner GPR 91. So blueprints can either be free. That can be like a free reward, which I think was there a couple weapons in the battle pass that were free, but once you unlock the blueprint, then you get that weapon. So it'd be a waste of a point to spend it on your weapons. It'd be much more advantageous to use it for a perk. So if you go through your blueprint system, right, you go ahead and go click on when you got your loadout ready to go. Click on your weapon. You can see the little gear icon over there. It's over there, and it shows. Like I have the Teddy is a Liar, which is a Prestige 1 reward, and then the Liar's Gambit, which is a reward from the Battle Pass. So I have the Tanto was a reward. So was the PP19, Jackal, or excuse me, maybe the Jackal wasn't. Okay, but then the SOG. So if you're going to try to maximize, where you spend the tokens for the value they bring, I would not spend it on weapons. The next question you got to ask yourself is, what do you play most? What game type do you play most? Do you play multiplayer? Do you play zombies? Do you play Warzone? Because each area, each category has its own unlock token. So, my very first unlock token was for Warzone, because at the time I was playing a lot of Warzone, and I wanted to have my loadout for Warzone have access to Survivor. So Survivor is normally unlocked later in the tree. I think it's level 47. So the idea would be to unlock a perk or that can be used against multiple classes. So unlock one of the later levels, like the Quick Fix, unlocked at level 50. Alertness, unlocked at level, I think that's 47. So figure out which game mode that you like to play the most, and you're going to spend the most time on, and then invest in that perk slot. So, like I said, my very first playthrough, I chose Survivor because this is faster health regeneration. When you're, because normally the health regeneration starts at like 5 seconds, and this reduces it down to 3. So it boosts your survivability. Another thing I'd recommend is maybe if you're not going to do Survivor, do Quick Fix. That's a decent one. And then perk 3, Tempered and Alertness are both really good options. As for equipment in Warzone, it's not that important. You can pick this stuff off the ground. This would just be in your loadout. So the perks are going to be where I would focus on where to invest your points. Wild card is also a good option, if you're going to choose a different wild card. But they unlock at fairly low levels. I want to say it's like 16, 24, and 32. So those are all, pretty early on in the battle, or in the experience. So if you are going to play a lot of zombies, then I would focus on a couple unlocks here. You'd want to choose maybe, well, obviously the top of the top for zombies is your Aether Shroud. This is going to be amazing. Highly, highly recommend unlocking this. This is probably the best of the field upgrades you can put on your character. It's so many get out of jail free cards applies to this. You can use it to melee and do damage when you're like invisible. It's still super broken, so it's definitely the best. As for like your tacticals and lethals, I mean, if you really had extra points that you wanted to spend, you could do maybe like the monkey, or I think the Casimir. The Casimir is like level 53. So that's a decent option if you want to unlock that piece of equipment. But I just put it into Aether Shroud, honestly. Okay, and then we'll go back to multiplayer. So if you plan on playing a lot of multiplayer, this is where you can kind of, have a debate on what works best and what you would be an optimal unlock. So I wouldn't bother unlocking any score streaks. I mean, those are just going to get you kills when you're on a kill streak. So you want something that's going to help you all the time, no matter what you're doing. And so that's going to be the first thing I'd recommend you unlock would be, where's it at? We got to switch weapons. Hold on. Chris, you're doing a bad job with the tutorial. Always. Always doing a bad job. I would recommend that you unlock the perk Greed as your first thing. Because normally how I prestige is I'll prestige, and when I'm fresh, I stay out of multiplayer until I get some perks available. So my first 10 levels will be earned in zombies. Levels 1 through 11 or whatever are earned in zombies XP. Then I have perks unlocked that is like Flak Jacket. You have... I think then by that time you'll have all the green perks unlocked. So you'll be able to get the Strategist perk, and then you could put on a perk Greed, and then add something else. So I'd highly recommend perk Greed, and then if you're going to choose perks to pick, Ninja is huge. Do not underestimate how easy it is to hear opponents. If anybody is even wearing a headset, you can hear footsteps. I've played with the TV just on and just the volume turned up to like 80, and my TV's wide enough. I get like sound from both, so I can hear footsteps on the television without even a headset. So having something to counteract that would be a huge benefit. So Ninja's huge. Something that's kind of slept on that I don't really see much people talk about is this forward intel. I used an unlock token on that. There's not a lot of people that use suppressors in this game, so if you're in a multiplayer match and somebody shoots an unsuppressed weapon, it'll actually show the arrow, the direction they're facing. Meaning, you could sneak up behind somebody, or if they're looking in your direction or they're looking away from you, so you know whether you can peek or not. And in big mode, in 6v6 modes, that's huge. Probably not so much if you're playing like Search and Destroy or something where people are going to be stealthier and they have suppressed weapons. I play a lot of Domination, so that forward intel is going to be big. What's for the other one? I mean, something else you could look at is maybe Gearhead. That unlocks pretty late. This is beneficial for if you're running that triple green and you want the extra tactical benefit from that. You have 2 field upgrade charges, and they both increased at an increased charge rate, hack enemy equipment, and field grades. if you're going to be doing this, this is good for a objective-based game mode. So you're thinking like hardpoint or domination. But yeah, the perk greed, definitely highly recommend that. And then maybe gunfighter. So I think a gunfighter unlocks at like level 32 or 33. So that's decent. It'll allow you to put extra attachments on your weapon, and obviously if your weapon performs better, more likely to get kills. You know, you have the faster aim down sight speed, got the faster strafe speed, so on and so forth. You get more kills. What else? I mean, secondary stuff, launchers, everything else. I mean, unless you're going for a specific challenge, then you can unlock those things. Like, say, hey, Chris, I'm on prestige number 7. What do I unlock now? Well, then you could probably unlock those higher level weapons. Like, your Val doesn't unlock until 55. So if you're like, well, I'm grinding camos now, I'm trying to grind out my dark matter or whatever, well, then go ahead and unlock a weapon. So it can be, but you've already done, you know, all your other assault rifles, and now you're down to the Val. You know, go ahead and finish it up. They did recently change the way it works. Is now it's 33 weapons in the category or total. So that means with the addition of like these new weapons like the Krieg or the SOG, or other DLC weapons that are coming out, it means you no longer have to try to grind dark matter with like launchers and shit. Doesn't mean you gotta be like, I gotta, you know, get all these kills with rocket launchers or melee weapons. Now I can use the Siren in place of that, and so it makes the camo grind just a little bit easier. And I see this in the future, you know, being even easier, because as the Season 2 comes out, then you're gonna have more DLC weapons and an easier chance, you know, of performing with a weapon that actually shoots as opposed to like a rocket launcher or some kind of a melee weapon. So yeah, hopefully this video was helpful. Put any comments or questions down below. I'll be sure to answer them. Thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one, boys. Later!